we move on to our next speaker, and I'd like to request Mr. Dave Rogers to kindly stay back on stage. Yes, I'd like to speak a little bit about Dave Rogers before you start, Dave. Dave is Asia's leading entrepreneur coach. He's an internationally renowned author and speaker in the field of personal and professional self-development and peak performance. Mr. Rogers, of course, I've had the pleasure to meet you earlier personally during the X Factor, which happened, I think, 3 years back, and pleasure to have you back with us. Maybe hear a few words from you, please.
Thank you, Mesh. Can we please give Mesh a round of applause? Thank you very much. It's been an incredible journey since I first came to India. And I'm meeting Maya, Akhil, and Kishore and the wonderful team, the Shahani team. When we first started out looking at collaboration, looking at education, looking at opportunities to share wisdom, Petchy was part of that first trip. And I do remember the trip because he brought his family to India. And going about throughout India with the family, going on the trains, it was quite a volatile experience at times, catching the trains at 5:30 and 6 in the morning with 3 young kids. It was quite a memory. Yet one of my greatest memories at that time was sharing people's dreams and connecting and communicating from heart. India has taught me so much over the years. I love India. I love what I've learned. I've loved what I connect. And this idea of unity and diversity is so relevant for everything I'm about. My name is Dave Rogers. I'm originally from Canada. But I left Canada in 1986 to come to Asia. And I went to Japan and Hong Kong, currently live in Singapore. One of the places in the world that communication and unity and diversity is absolutely incredible. Yet, the diversity is about this small compared to India, which is incredible. In fact, I would ask everyone to please stand up. Would everyone please stand up? And I just thought that this would be interesting because in 1491, there was a painting made, and it was the Vitruvian Man. The Vitruvian Man looks like this. I'm not going to ask you to do that right now, but unless you want to, does anyone want to stretch out a little bit? There we go. Some people do. And this idea of stretching out is a concept that we've worked with, is that you are the center of your universe. Could you turn to the person on your right, turn to the person on your left, and say to them, you are the center of your universe. Could you do that right now, please? Now, that idea of you are the center of your universe, and I am going to ask you to stay standing just for a little bit. In fact, you can move a little bit right now if you like. Because this idea, when we did speak to Petchy, that's when he was first starting the idea of having a dream of unity and diversity, a dream of global dialogue. Because he realized that as an entrepreneur, that entrepreneurs are the change agent on the planet. Maya, at the time, wasn't sure whether she's an entrepreneur, yet what she did do is she shared a dream of spirit. When you think of spirit, what I've learned in this wonderful country is spirit is about breath. Can everyone take a deep breath right now? And she's introduced me to many people that say that is ultimate spirituality, is because that's the one thing we as human beings share, is breath. So this idea of you are the center of the universe was something that 2 years ago, my business partner Mike Hancock, the gentleman who made that song, and I traveled to 33 countries. And we explored the entrepreneur X Factor concept. X Factor. when you hear X Factor, I'd actually ask you to talk to the person next to you for just 15 or 20 seconds and ask them, what's X Factor to you? Go ahead and do that right now, please. What's X Factor? It's not ex-wife. It's not ex-husband, no. It's actually looking at what is your individual X Factor. When we traveled the world, in fact, what was really amazing about when we met Petchy, and we met Maya, and we met entrepreneurs around the world, we came up with a movie called the Dreamcatcher movie. And some of you have seen the Dreamcatcher movie. And it shares the story of Petchy. It shares the story of Maya. It shares the story of entrepreneurs around the world who are looking to change the world. Entrepreneurs are the change agent for health and wellness, for the way that we communicate, the way we connect. And this idea of when we meet somebody, we can see the differences, or we can honor their X Factor. We might help them identify their X Factor. When we saw that young man stand here and share with us, was that magical? He has X Factor. He has a passion for communication. He was speaking with his throat chakra open with love and light. Some people in this room do it through dance. Some people do it through song. Some people do it through writing. And that's the type of story that one of the things that the organization Rock Your Life has been doing is helping people share their wonderful stories. The Petchy story appeared in Transformational Leaders. Maya's story appeared in the Dreamcatcher movie. Akil's story has recently appeared in the Entrepreneur X Factor book. And that's one of the things that I find in unity and diversity, in global dialogue. Perhaps we can celebrate each other's X Factor. We can provide young people the opportunity to show us wonderful ways through social media. This is called the trilogy of technology. This is the way that companies and messages can be spread around the world magically through viral. The trilogy of technology: social media, mobile. Actually, mobile. I see a number of people have their mobiles out right now. I'm going to invite you. This might be the strangest thing you've ever heard a speaker say to you. Take out your phone and take a selfie. Go ahead and do that right now. Take a selfie with somebody next to you. Because this is what the young people, I imagine the young people are, that's easy for them to do. They'll immediately take out their camera and take a selfie. And that's something that I'd like you to do for the next 30 seconds, is to take a selfie. I'm going to take a selfie myself with all of you in the background. So one of the things that this is what is happening today in technology is that we can make a little selfie. Actually, I'm going to ask you to say selfie with a little bit of energy. So take a selfie in 3 seconds and just go, yes! All right, on to, we're going to say yes all together. 1, 2, yes! And this is what the young people today are able to do so magically, is to share technology. And this is the thing I'm going to ask some of you who really like technology, is to go onto Facebook a little bit later today and post that. The website for this event is Unity in Diversity, World Civil Society. So Unity in Diversity, and we're inviting you to put the picture up there. Hashtag UID India. So this is some technology that if you're not understanding what I'm saying, guess what I have to say back to you? You need a mentor. Guess how old your mentor probably is? 13, 14, 15 years old. This is a concept that I'd love to share with you, perhaps for the first time for some. It's called transgenerational businesses. It's called transgenerational projects. It's when we have grandparents doing wonderful projects with their grandkids. It's so exciting. Youth entrepreneurship is what I'm about right now. I love it. I'm involved in schools in Malaysia, Singapore, and in India. And I love the idea of working with the young people to use the trilogy of technology, mobile, social media, and the cloud, to be able to connect and to have dialogue all around the world. And what I have found is that there's so much wisdom with people 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, yet when they get together with a teenager, magic can happen around the world. And that, for me, is such an exciting part of unity and diversity. That, for me, is such a beautiful opportunity for us to connect and collaborate and to do wonderful projects with the youth of today. Thank you so very much for this time today. I look forward to connecting and collaborating and partnering with many of you in the days, weeks, and months ahead. Thank you so very much. Namaste.